Gilbert-Brinkman. Sister star Patricia Kalember. Comedian Wild Willy Parsons. JFK attending surgeon Dr. Charles Crenshaw. And now, it's him!
This is our big creative move 4 months into the show. No more curtain. Yeah? It looks like Jennifer Beals' apartment in...
Easy.
I don't know. That seems like a long way to go. That's a long walk.
Was it a long walk?
Yeah, I felt like one of those race walkers, you know. All righty, all right. We'll have to think about that. I dug the curtain.
I dug
Something
the
about
look.
coming
I
out of
liked
the
it.
curtain, but...
I like it. I
Slats,
like this.
where's the producer? Slattery, what do you think now that you've seen it? Oh, you're so artsy-fartsy. Little I am pay over there. All right. There's the easiest autograph in the world. I am pay, huh? Like
It's true.
And they think he personalized it. Look, he is pay. Okay, some bad architecture jokes. Okay, let's do some Philip Johnson material. All right, Bill Clinton won the West Virginia and Nebraska primaries yesterday, and if that wasn't inconsequential enough, he was also endorsed by Walter Mondale. So, I think Mondale ought to run again, huh?
I think we're ready for him.
Ooh, what a tromping that was. When I went to bed, Reagan had 598 electoral votes, Mondale had 3. Yeah, you think about it, that's only 3 more than I had. I didn't even run, you know, I mean, this guy spent $40 million and I almost tied him. Just noticed I don't have a coat on. Clinton says his first criteria in selecting someone for vice president is that when their name is announced, people will say, wow. I don't know if this country's ready for a Bill Clinton Sharon Stone ticket, but as part of his new urban policy, George Bush introduced his weed and seed program this week. In an attempt to do him one better, Clinton introduced his weed without seeds program. And, comes complete with an ELP album cover. Poor Clinton. He never even smoked pot, did he?
I can't tell, can you?
He was just with a chick one night, and he didn't want to say, I'm afraid in here I might get crazy and kill. And so he faked it, and we're still putting kicks in on his ribs 6 years ago. Billy, I'm sorry, man. I didn't even mean it, but you should start getting high now if you're going to be president. Okay. Just, not endorsing drugs. I just think anybody who wants to be president should properly anesthetize themselves for the experience. Just moments after President Bush said he would attend the Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro, the Earth called and said, if Bush comes, it's staying home. You know, Jerry Brown wanted to attend, but he has to go to the Jupiter conference, I understand. And, Vice President Dan Quayle gave his thoughts on the situation in Los Angeles on last week's Face the Nation. Quayle felt there was chaos, a lack of understanding, and the lines were way too long for Space Mountain. And groaner crowd. See? I think the lack of the curtain is making this a groaner crowd.
Oh, I
You
don't think
notice
they're
their first
groaners.
instinct is that...
To go,
Get into a little cultural hedonism here. Fall back into the material, folks. I'm there for you. Pat Buchanan went to the U.S.-Mexican border yesterday where he called for fortification of the border with concrete walls and ditches. While at the border, Buchanan was heckled by disgruntled neo-Nazi Tom Metzger. And while all this was going on, U.S. officials quietly moved the border, causing Buchanan and Metzger to become residents of Mexico. So, I think it was a good move. See? Feels good, doesn't it? The pleasure principle. Calgon, take me away. 3 astronauts will leave the shuttle and try to capture and repair the Telesat communication satellite. Actually, the astronauts are going to try to physically grab a stray satellite with their hands and force it into place. And if they can't control it, they may have to use a taser gun on it and then beat it to hell with their batons. NASA says that... Now, NASA says the astronauts will either fix it or they'll not be allowed back in the shuttle. So, pretty tight ship they run over there at NASA. Luckily, the Russian winter and famine wasn't nearly as bad as many had predicted. In fact, loads of Russian families reportedly have as many as 6 to 10 potatoes left over to do whatever the hell they want with. Festival! Festival! Landrew commands it! Festival!
We're shipping Mr. Potato Heads over there right now.
I was doing a Star Trek piece, though, Nicky. Do you remember that one? Landrew, the festival?
Which one was Landrew? Help me out.
Everybody was whacked out, like on Andromeda Strange Spore, and they were partying in that Mexican
Is that the one with
village.
the intergalactic hippies and the guy with the loot?
Yeah. Right there, man.
Yeah.
This guy makes Keanu Reeves look like Buckminster Fuller up there. Did you? Yeah, man. Like the spores. Oh, I'm sorry. I always swore I would never do a surf guy thing, and I did it, and I feel like a cretin now. Okay, scientists have found magnetic particles in human brains. Amazing. They became interested in the phenomenon when Telly Savalas' head kept attaching itself to refrigerator doors. Well, Night Court is airing its last episode tonight. Apparently, they couldn't compete with the jokes that our real courts are putting out. And finally... And finally, American Bandstand celebrates its 40th anniversary this year. That's 6 in Dick Clark years. Hey, we've got a great show for you tonight. My guests are Melissa Gilbert-Brinkman. Yeah. Comedian Wild Willy Parsons is here. Actress from the popular TV show Sisters, Patricia Kalember is here. And the guy who was in the ER the night they bought JFK, and Dr. Charles Crenshaw is here. Goldie, thank you.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Tartar Control Crest. The dentist joints to help keep your teeth tartar-free.
To meet your enemies, to crush them between your feet, and to hear the lamentations of their women. That's our show motto. Go now. Hey, I got this nice letter today from Cheap Trick. We tried to get him on the show a while back. Remember that, Nick?
Yeah.
I thought they were going to come on, and then we started bumping heads with their management and all that, and it's so tough to get people booked out here because everybody has like layers. It's like a mob hit. There's always 8 guys between you and the actual guy. So Rick Nielsen sent me a nice letter from the Capitol Tokyo Hotel, and they want to try to come on, and he sent me a guitar pick You know, I'm not a real music memorabilia buff, but who in the crowd digs Cheap Trick? That cat. I saw him first. I know, it turned into a riot. Yeah, I was thinking of having him on one night, and I thought the night when we had him on, we wouldn't tell him, but we'd fill the entire crowd with Asians. And they'd come out and go, God, we're at the Budokan. What happened here? Okay, it's the guy up there with a hat. I feel like the hot dog guy at Dodger Stadium. Little Rick Nielsen guitar pick. Believe me, babe. It's not going to rip my life up. Now, hey, people at home, hey, Dennis is a nice guy. No, I'm not. I'm a complete creep. I just gave him the pick. Okay, what are we doing now? Nick!
And now, it's time for the telling of things that can never be. Time once again for Nostra-Dennis, prophet of not.
Yes, Nick, okay. Here it is. Of course, what is this, Nick?
You must look through the viewfinder of things that can never be.
Okay. So these would be things in the news that we'll never actually see.
Not gonna happen.
Okay. Carson tells Leno, screw retirement. I'm doing 20 more years.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna happen.
Regis and Kathy Lee have a child together with Frank's blessing.
Yeah, right, pal.
Stop, or my mom will shoot too.
Nostra-Dennis is in the house.
I liked it before when what did you say before? So
saith Nostra-Dennis.
Why are you getting hip with it? I want it to be that old Atlanta spot.
Well, you yelled at me last time. I got scared.
No. I was vamping it up. It's a road picture. Do the old thing.
Ready to crank, baby.
Patty Davis obeys the fourth commandment.
So says Nostra-Dennis, prophet of not.
My Nicky's back. London warned the nickname City of Great Dentists.
So says Nostra-Dennis, prophet of not.
Jonathan Demme makes big bucks on the lecture circuit.
So says Nostra-Dennis, prophet of not.
Reagan and Gorbachev open a liquor store in Compton.
So says Nostra-Dennis, prophet of not.
Nancy and Reza will remake Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
So says Nostra-Dennis, prophet of not.
And the last thing that could never happen, President Quayle promotes new National Security Advisor Daryl Gates. It'll never happen.
So says Nostra-Dennis, prophet of not.
Sometimes when I'm channeling like that, it drains me. I am again at peace. All right.
Come back to us.
We need more reverb over there, Nick.
Yeah, we were a little slight on the reverb.
Oh, Nick, of course.
Oh,
there's
I'm ready,
the
man.
brute gun.
Yeah.
I've made a promise to myself to quit swearing. I was swearing too much in the show.
We got the swivel gun like at the back of a tank.
Oh, that's cool.
It's ready
Very
to go.
SWAT.
Combat.
It's filled with brute. I hate the smell of brute. If I swear, Nick will shoot me with a brute gun. Shoot over there.
Shot over there?
It works.
Oh, yeah.
Shoot the plant. Oh, now...
Worship me.
See, now the plant will never meet a girl plant for photosynthesis because he has that smell on. Okay.
We'll have to counteract it with some high karate.
My first guest grew up on television in Little House on the Prairie. She's now the star of another series, incredibly Tiny House on the Prairie. No, it's comedy. She's funny in it. You seen her? Stand by your man. Please welcome Melissa Gilbert-Brinkman, folks.
Why, thank you.
Boy, they dug you. Is that Little House, is that spillover heat or is it Stand By Your Man heat? What are we getting at? Little House. Well, hey.
At least it's something.
Yeah, everybody, anytime anybody gets one hook in life, I figure they got their hook, right?
That's nice.
That's good to have.
Thing.
But you are funny in this new thing. I never knew you had those chops. You're good in it.
Thank you. Well, I was raised by a bunch of comedy writers and comedians, and my father was a stand-up comic. My grandfather created the Honeymooners.
Well, there's a pedigree. I mean, geez.
And they made me cry. I don't know why I became the one that does all this crying and flailing and staring and pensive and thinking, and so now I get to be funny.
I'm fascinated by the fact that your grandfather created the Honeymooners.
Yeah, isn't that the coolest thing in the world?
Now, was it like Star Trek? Was the Honeymooners as huge then as it is now, or was it one of those things where they didn't see it then?
It started as sketches on the Jackie Gleason show, which he wrote, and they developed the characters from there, and then it became its own show. And he's done so much in his life. You know, that's like the tip of the iceberg. I've been talking to him about the Abbott and Costello movies he wrote, and the Dean Martin roasts that he wrote for years, and all of that. And I really haven't gotten into the Honeymooners with him. I don't really talk to him about that stuff. You know, to me, he's just Papa Harry.
Has he seen your show?
Yeah, he has.
Does he dig it?
Yeah, it's kid, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah,
so
those guys who
great.
hatched it all, they always reserve judgment. They don't want to. They don't blow up over everything. You made the Honeymooners, for God's sake.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. I think it's funny. I want to talk to you more about it. You know the shows with Rosie O, and it's a funny show. Okay. We're right back with Melissa Gilbert-Brinkman right after this, folks. Bye. Back with Melissa Gilbert-Brinkman. I want to talk more about the show, but I have to ask you now, I'm in this name thing now. The SAG has told me I can't use my name.
I heard about this. I have a solution for you. I discussed it with my husband, and we've decided that you can use Dennis Miller Brinkman.
Beautiful. There it is, right there.
I think it works. And also, the advantage of having an incredibly long name like that is no one else's name fits next to you, so you're always alone.
Oh, they got to give you your own thing.
Yeah. Long thing.
See? Sharpie. Can you believe they don't want me to use my name? What is that?
Ridiculous.
You're nuts. I'm using my name. Forget it. What are they going to do? Arrest me? Take me off to showbiz prison?
Name prison. Yeah, right. SAG prison. It's SAG prison.
It's actors playing guards. Up against the wall. Line.
Mime bars.
Now, tell us about the show. What's the premise of the show here?
The
you and
premise
Rosie.
of the show is me and Rosie are, Rosie and I, are sisters.
Yeah, sorry, I'm bad grammar.
In New Jersey. Yes. We're sisters in New Jersey? Did that get up New Jersey? Yes. And in the first episode, our husbands have been sent to prison for 8 years for bank robbery. So we move in together and have a life. And I think it's funny. I think it's great.
Well, you have the accent knocked. Where'd you get that?
It sort of just kind of happened. My grandmother's from Brooklyn and my mother, and I hear it a lot. So I just kind of, and Rosie has it too, so it just sort of happens. I don't know.
We have a little clip here. Are we going to set it up, or what's happening
Yeah, I
here?
sort of have to set it up. This is one of the episodes that hasn't aired yet, and it starts with me in a severe depression. Normally, Rochelle has, like, big hair and big nails, and she's always happy. So this is opened with me in a big depression, crying, watching the Weather Channel.
Your hair's all flat?
Flat-haired now. Yes.
So it's like a barometer of your mental well-being.
If I'm happy, my hair is up. If I'm sad, it's
down. Happy, B-52s.
That's
right.
Let's watch.
Okay.
Really, Rochelle, you gotta get off the couch. Even I think this place is a mess.
Don't touch little Hans. He's very special to me. This little guy is the first thing Roger gave me for this house.
We got lucky at skee ball, huh? Rochelle, don't you see what's going on here? You're depressed.
Oh, I am not. I'm just a little tired, that's all. I am handling things just fine. Low pressure over the Rockies. Oh, when will it ever end?
Now, who played the doll? Kidding, I'm kidding.
That's my son, Cody. He's a little small for his age, but he's
Cody,
fun.
you're a little 3-year-old. Now, there's
3-year-old.
another Cody here, America, because this one Cody has taken over the world, right? Doesn't Kathy Lee's kid named Cody?
Yes, but my son's nickname is Cody. His
Oh,
name is
okay.
actually Dakota, which we named him Dakota before Don Johnson and Melanie Griffith. So, and it's my husband's grandmother's name.
Well,
so
their kid's
it's
South
real.
Dakota. Yours is North
Dakota.
And,
Yes, that's right.
sorry, I had to go for it. I really should be whacked with a Buford Pusser stick. It was real
Swear
bad.
him. Oh, no, you didn't swear. My son has that gun, by the way. He's the single
Maybe he and I
bearer.
can play sometime. That's about... I'm operating at that
Nicky,
level.
load it up with paint. Go out in the woods. Do that whole wilderness
We were thinking about the
survival
writers.
thing.
We were thinking about going on one of those splat retreats.
Now, you mean to tell me that Nick squeezed off 3 shots from this plastic Mannlicher Carcano in 10.6 seconds?
It was the other writer on the grassy
Sorry, I'm
knoll.
doing revisionist history. All right. Hey, now, has the show been picked up? What's the deal on it?
Yours has.
Well, 21
Hasn't it?
weeks. Yeah, we got another 21 weeks. I'm here for 6 more months. Listen. You'll get my microphone when you pry it from my cold, steely hands. But what's the word on yours?
I
Is it going to
don't
happen?
know. I hope so.
Well, it's brutal living in limbo, isn't it?
Oh, God. Well, I'm not in total limbo. I mean, I did do a movie of the week that I just finished. So, you know, I keep busy. And
So you're in
the
limbo
baby-
with a view.
Yeah. Yes, of things to come. But it would be nice for the show to get
Yeah, it's
picked
good
up.
for your life. Keeps you centered.
It's nice that there's like that steady income, which is
Yeah.
good, because college is, you know, down the road.
Right.
And it's nice to have that. So,
All righty. Well, we wish you luck with it.
thank you.
It's on Fox, right? Stand by your man. Melissa, say bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Thanks, Melissa. Thank you. Oh, we'll be right back with Willy Parsons right after this.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by Hyundai, makers of the Excel, Scoop, Sonata, and the brand new Elantra.
Thank you, boy. Where's Free? Where's Free? Hi, honey. My wife. My lovely wife, Allie, just stepped in. Hi, baby. You are the sunshine in my... Sorry, I'm in love. Hey, where's Free, Goldie? What happened there? Where is Free? Do they still exist? All right now. It was a great song, then they went away. Are they still around? Do you know them?
They broke up.
Oh.
Paul Kossoff.
Seeing other bands?
Guitarist died.
Oh, he did?
Kossoff, yeah.
The other guy went into
All of a
Bad
sudden, I'm in
Company.
a real bummer situation here. I'm just
Paul
trying
Paul Rogers is in
Paul
Bad
Rogers
Company now.
went to Bad Company as the singer.
to... You know, I'm out here with Casey Kasem-Etz. I mean,
Coming up, and they came back to be number 1.
Nick. Thank you, Nicky.
You've heard the tape, of course.
You little discologist, you. My next guest is a comedian
Whoa.
who just broke his back. But he's going to do it anyway. But it's not going to be stand-up. My next guest is a comedian who is a regular in America's Most Wanted. What is that? Please welcome Wild Willy Parsons. Willie!
Thanks. Thank you very much. Well, sorry about that back there. I just had to beat the guy up who's in my way. So much for the director. All right. I want to start by saying I'm happy to be here on a stage with a bright light shining on me and nobody's saying number 3, turn to the right, please. That was getting kind of old. You know, people always ask me, they say, Will, why you stabbing me? I don't know. I get a knife set in the mail. I didn't order it, you know. No, people always ask me why I do comedy because I don't look like every comic, right? But if you think about it, there ain't a lot of jobs a guy like me could get, right? I mean, look at me. You wouldn't want to go into Benihana's, have me slinging knives at your table, would you? Yeah, today's special is you, pal, huh? Any ladies want to go into Chippendales? Have me swinging my unit in your face? A couple of you would. We'll talk to you after the show. And not a lot of parents want to send the little nippers off to Wild Willie's Child Care Center every day. So I became a comic. It's a great gig. I love doing it. I've always tried to work my whole life. I was turned down from a job one time. They said I was too big to work there. They wouldn't let me work at Photomat. Can you imagine me working there? You pull up, there's an arm hanging out each side of the building. Great. Now I like to mess with the people at Photomat. I run up there and go, excuse me, can I use your bathroom? Sorry, I'll just go on the side of the building. I used to be a repo man. I was a repo man for a heart transplant firm. That's a tough job. Somebody's got to do it. You can't make those payments. We come over and rip that sucker right out. Come on, write me a check. Come on. Write that. I drove an armored truck for about 6 blocks, and just didn't pan out. I think the worst job I ever had, though, was collecting for the newspaper as a little kid. Anybody ever do that? That's tough, ain't it? People cop an attitude. I mean, I think it would have been easier if I'd had a route. Just didn't pay off for me. I was a mean kid. I know it's hard to tell by looking at me, but I used to give my mom a lot of trouble when I was growing up, right? And she'd always threaten me with the same thing. You just wait till your father gets out. But I'm proud to say I've only been in jail once in my life. It was for 9 years, but it's for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was there when the cops showed up. It's like a bag of money, a dead guy, and me. So I thought the worst thing about jail, though, was the strip search. I couldn't understand. They strip you down naked. They look inside of your butt. I don't even look inside my butt. All right, once, but I was drunk. We were playing Twister. All right. Okay. But I couldn't believe it, right? So I asked the guy whose job it is to search you there. I asked him what he was looking for, right? Because I usually keep a pretty good inventory of what I keep in my butt. He says to me, I swear to God, he says, we're searching for weapons. Yeah, I just happen to have a bazooka in my butt. I thought I could sneak it by. I was going to blow my way out of here tonight and limp home. Weapons. Let me give you a little hint, folks. Somebody pulls a gun out of their butt, let them have it, all right? That's all I'm saying. It doesn't even have to be loaded. I mean, come on. And then he tells me, I swear to God, he says, we're also searching for drugs. Yeah. Can you imagine somebody sitting in jail after 3-4 days? Hey, Holmes, guess what? I just remembered I got a joint right here. Skunk weed, I think. Come on. Need a beer? Domestic, import, light, dark, tall, short, bottle, can. Party ball? But I try to stay out of trouble, man. I try to stay out of trouble now. People judge me too much on my looks, you know, and I'm a nice guy. I really am a nice guy. I mean, I'll kill somebody if I have to, don't get me wrong. I mean, I killed somebody once, I really did, but I'll tell you what, if I don't want Girl Scout cookies, I don't want them, all right? Thanks a lot, you guys don't fucking out.
Thank you, Willie. Willie will be, hey, like a scene from, wow. It's like a scene from Mighty Joe Young or something. Willie will be appearing at the Dunes Comedy Store in Las Vegas, June 2nd to June 10th. We'll be right back with Patricia Kalember right after this. I just saw a story in the news before I came out about Scientology. And if there's anybody out there watching who's like big in the Scientology thing, call up and come on the show, because I don't know what the hell it's about and I want to know more about it, because everybody always condemns it. And then I see Tom Cruise is a Scientologist. He seems like the coolest, mellowest head in the world. So I'd like to know more about it. So if you're watching, part of our religion is that we do not watch your show, Dennis.
Rule number 1.
All right, my next guest is one of the stars of NBC's hit show Sisters. She also stars in the upcoming film Big Girls Don't Cry, They Get Even. Please welcome Patricia Kalember, folks. Patricia.
Terrible. Hi, Dennis. I'm going to do something for you now.
Okay.
All right. Let me come out again.
All right.
All right.
There's a new thing we're doing called the walk-through plug. For people who don't really, can't be on that day, but want to plug something. Kelsey?
Ah.
You have to keep walking. That's the only prereq. No, don't plug. Okay, Kelsey, do it.
For God's sake, let us sit upon the ground and tell sad stories of the death of kings. How some have been deposed, some slain in war, some haunted by the ghosts they have deposed, some poisoned by their wives, some sleeping, killed, all murdered. For within the hollow crown that rounds the mortal temples of a king keeps death his court. And there the antic sits, scoffing his state and grinning at his pomp. Anyway. Come and see Richard II, starring me, Kelsey Grammer, at the Mark Taper Forum. You can call the box office, 213-972-7392, and also tune in for the season finale of Cheers tomorrow night.
Bye, Kelsey.
Bye.
It's the newest. It's the newest. It's the newest. It's the newest thing in pure American commerce, the walk-through plug. No deception, no whoredom. He was selling. Okay. At least we're up front with it. My next guest, hey, I did the intro. Patricia Kalember. Patricia! Look how pretty you look.
Thank you. It's like the drive-through window at McDonald's.
I know.
Isn't it? It's like Shakespeare. I'd like,
Well, I was trying to think, how can we get really big people to come on? And then I thought, well, this is a city of commerce, and some people don't want to commit to actually sitting down for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's a nice way to build relationships. Just let them do the walk-through plug. Would you like fries with that plug? Okay, now, Sisters, catching on, huh? I was with you in Miami. We did a radio show together, and boy, the people love it out there, don't they?
Yeah, we got to, actually, what we did, we were both in the show together, and they had phone-ins for people, and they didn't call you.
No, you were getting all the calls. I was kind of sitting there.
Which I felt really bad. I didn't.
Well, I've recovered.
Have you?
I intensified my therapy, and I went to electroshock, and I'm cool right now. But the show seems real popular. Your character is Georgie? Or?
Yeah.
And you're like the normal one in the midst, right?
That's what, yeah.
You lay down the bass line and they do all the neurotic Miles Davis riffs off it.
That seems to be the way it happens.
Are you happy with it? You having fun on it?
Actually, I am. Although what I do, I meet women who compare themselves to the different characters because they're usually one of several sisters. And I had one woman who met me and said, my sister says I'm like you, but I say, no way I could be that boring. Nice to meet you.
Oh, there's an icebreaker right there. But you see, that's the cool thing about the show. Groups of women, like the sisterhood has never had anybody speak to them like that, and they must see a lot of common ground that they had growing up, too.
Then they start doing hybrids, like, well, I'm a combination Teddy Georgie, or I meet someone who says, well, actually, I'm a little like Alex, but when I'm PMS, I'm like Frankie, it's just...
PMS, you mean like late at night?
Sorry,
Okay, now this film,
Sorry, it's a woman's show, so we throw those terms around a lot.
This Big Girls Don't Cry, They Get PMS. What's that about?
Is my face red?
No. I hear this is a film about the the dysfunctional side of American family. Or so many families are integrated now.
It was conceived by the producer, Melissa Gilbert, who was part of that. Her father remarried several times, and she has this extended stepfamily. And it's all about coping with having to have 3 or 4 different parents.
It's a comedy, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a lighthearted approach to it.
Yeah, it's a real funny
Yeah, I was trying to read the script synopsis, and I couldn't, I mean, it was like a lot happening in there.
Yeah, it's impossible to try to figure out. Mostly it's about how we seem to forget to take care of kids in our process of getting on with our life.
Uh-huh. And what's your part in the movie? What do you play?
I am Griffin Dunn's divorced wife. I kicked him out of the house because he got a 25-year-old girl pregnant. Mm-hmm. And she's pregnant with twins. And actually, we get back together at the end. Mm-hmm. It's a real funny kind of movie.
And who's the little girl? She, or it's like a teenager, right?
Hillary Wolf is her name. I think she's 15 now. Mm-hmm. She was wonderful. She's a judo expert now. She just missed the Olympics. Oh. She was going to go to the Olympics as a brown belt.
Instead, she's beating the hell out of producers for parts in Hollywood, you know? Yeah. Oh, we've decided to pass on you. Okay, you got the part. You start on Monday. All right. Now, how's your family doing? I know you have kids, right?
They're great. Yeah, I have 2 kids. They're 6 and 3. And my daughter just finished her science project. She got 3rd place. Get ready.
Oh, wow. What was it? What did she do?
She did The Life of the Butterfly. Ooh. And she did it all herself, I have to tell you. And you go in, and it's supposed to be just kids doing it. And they're all 6-year-olds, right? And there's these enormous science projects with live squirrels and, you know...
I remember this thing.
With a butterfly box with, you know, I don't know, hieroglyphics on the side. Right. And you just think, now the kids did not do this themselves.
She's got it from Cocoon all the way through.
That's right.
On top of Jodie Foster's mouth on the poster. And, the whole life cycle there. I remember when I was a kid, I always took the lame route out. I would throw a potato and some water on the windowsill, and 6 months later, come back and act like I was Oppenheimer. He'll see that the spud is contracting from... I was so lame.
Did you ever do the pencil with a string that went down with the sugar water and it made crystals?
Yeah,
and you get like rock candy eventually out of it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, you ever tried
I never went that far with it.
It's great.
I always got scared and had to pull back. But at the end of it, you get actual rock candy.
You get rock candy. My brother used to do it all the time just so he could eat it.
Well, I'm out of here in 15 minutes. I'm going right home and doing it. All right. Patricia Kalember, the TV show, you all know that's Sisters, and the movie is Big Girls Don't Cry, They Get Even. Thanks for coming on, Patricia. Yeah. Nice to see you again. We'll be right back with Dr. Charles Crenshaw right after this, folks. All right, thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Tomorrow night, my guests will be Ed Asner, comedian actors Dave Coulier and Dave Thomas, and Spider-Man creator Stan Lee. In November of 1963, my next guest was a surgeon at Parkland Memorial Hospital in Dallas. He has now written a book, JFK, Conspiracy of Silence. Please welcome Dr. Charles Crenshaw, folks. Dr. Crenshaw. Doctor. Now, many have labeled the Warren Report a fable. Usually, I wonder if we focus too much on the Kennedy assassination, but I certainly think you have an interesting story to tell because you were in the ER when he was brought in, right?
Yes, we were there, and we came into the ER, and there was Kennedy lying there on the cart. He was magnificent and larger than the cart. Miss Kennedy was sitting there at the end, standing there at the end. She had on that pink suit that I'll always remember with the blood all the way down the side. And there was Clint Hill standing there with his gun out. So that's how we started working on the president.
That was your first image of it.
Exactly.
Why, point blank, why did you wait so long? Were you afraid you'd be killed if you released
this? Well,
it
was a mixture of things. Paternal doctrine. There was an edict put out by the chief of the emergency room for anyone to not say anything. Likewise, I was naive. I kind of thought that even though they broke Texas law and took the president out without an autopsy, that they'd have the best forensic pathologist in our government to do this. Mm-hmm. Well, I was wrong there, too. And I thought the Warren Commission would be the best investigation. We were wrong there. And lastly, as career-minded as then, I was a second-year resident. I wanted to finish the program. And as early as that evening, the 22nd, and definitely the 23rd, the word was out to us and to the world. There was one lone shooter. It was Oswald. And so we spent the next week figuring out how the president could get shot from the front by a lone shooter from the back.
So it was done backwards. Everything worked back to the proposition that there was one man.
Exactly.
Now, were you actually the last person to put Kennedy into the...
The last resident. I stood there because we were going to do the autopsy. And then when the Secret Service changed and got the Justice of the Peace to sign the death certificate, they brought in the coffin. And so I stood there to make sure that we placed him in the coffin.
For transit back to Washington, D.C.
Correct.
Now, the wounds you saw later from autopsy photos, do you believe they've been tampered with?
Not only they've been tampered with, the one in the back, this wound came in over the right ear, a tangential wound, and came out an exit wound right here on the bump of your head, the occiput. This wound was as big as a baseball, and in the autopsy pictures, this wound had disappeared. This wound here, an entrance wound where Dr. Perry made a small incision here for the tracheostomy, it was now enlarged, it was gaping and irregular to look either like an exit wound or they've been probing for the bullet that went in the front. A total difference from what they were when they left Parkland.
So, as a man who's somewhat familiar with oaths in your profession, I really can't believe somebody of your stature would be out to make it. But you're just saying that this man was shot from the front also,
Oh, yeah.
right?
He was shot from the front. He was shot from the back, but we never turned him over to see that. But the idea that Oswald was the lone shooter, that's impossible. He couldn't have done all those shots, particularly those from the front.
Mm-hmm. Wow, this amazes me, because usually there's all this hypothesis, and it's usually by Mark Twain, although I respect him to some extent. He's
Right.
sort of like, sometimes it seems like fantasy land, but you're the doctor who was there, and you're telling me he was shot from the front, too. Right?
Absolutely.
So there was two people. So somewhere out there, if he was in his 20s, we probably still have a man who shot Kennedy running around.
That could well be.
Wow, that's amazing. What, have you talked to Oliver Stone?
Yes, I talked with him briefly. My co-author was a consultant for the movie,
Uh-huh.
and he just wanted to go over to make the emergency room scene authentic.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's myth anymore, folks. I think that's enough for me. It's JFK, Conspiracy of Silence, Dr. Charles A. Crenshaw, and we'll be right back. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
This portion of the Dennis Miller Show is brought to you by VCR Plus. Life should be so simple.
Welcome back. Hey, isn't that, I wish I would have had more time with him. That blows my mind, man. He said he had no idea, had never seen the films or anything. He just came upon the body and immediately thought it had been shot from the front. That amazes me.
Wow.
We got to look into this more. Miss Melissa Gilbert-Brinkman, Patricia Kalember, Kelsey Grammer, Wild Willy Parsons, and Dr. Charles Crenshaw. Thank you for coming on. Good night, teenagers. Bye-bye.
When in Los Angeles, guests of the Dennis Miller Show stay at the St. James Club and Hotel.